Wait, is Linux? Oh. Hey, what is up? I'm not a newbie. Of course, back again with yet another stream. And you know, I haven't done one of these streams in a bit. I know, like my week has just been kind of busy. And I know I haven't been like on my regular schedule. And I have I have online classes coming up soon, so I'm not even going to be able to stream as much as I used to.
Nice. Mr. Pizza.
But we'll see. I'm gonna figure out a new schedule, and we'll be able to do stuff more consistently. I know for sure that I am going to keep on doing Minecraft Monday streams, so that's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to that. Baron Brett says the Giga Chat doing reaction stream. Yeah. Do you like my reaction streams? I actually started off my streams for the most part doing Minecraft streams and React streams. And I do a lot of. I want to get back into doing more React streams because React streams they make for some fun content, and I think they make for easier or like better videos for the Clips channel, which I want the Clips channel to be the main channel. So I'm really working on trying to get some good content that's like memorable. Because I think that like these streams are filled with like really great content, and it's really fun if you catch it live. But then if you don't, then it's just like, I don't know, am I gonna watch a 2-hour video? And like, I don't even know what would be like the best parts to cut out. So
Linux O's 200 subs so hilarious.
Something hilarious from Linux O to react to. Let me see. Yeah, I guess I'll go and look at the stuff you guys sent me. I mean, it's not. I also have some of my own stuff that I kind of want to get to. So I think what I'm gonna do is actually I may bounce back and forth between what I want to watch and what you guys want me to watch. So I may pick like one thing from you guys and then one thing that I wanted to react to, because I have like a whole bucket of things I wanted to get to. There's a lot of trending stuff going on right now. There's like, I don't know, Twitch bans and YouTube being racist apparently, or there's all kinds of stuff going on the internet right now. So I wanted to try and cover everything. But I know that my communities, they've got the videos they want me to watch, so I don't know. I will have to placate you guys to some extent. Not entirely. It's still my stream, but
Said in the chat.
y'all know what I mean.
When not a newbie almost fell out of his chair when Linux O said he slept with his brother.
Well, I mean, wouldn't you? I mean, I feel like you like to just rock around saying that like you sleep with your brothers, like not like a normal thing to do. You know, it usually is not. It's something that's like rarely done, but even rarely bragged about. Like, it's not like a bit like, hey, look at me, I sleep with my brother. Like, it's not like a thing that like most like people do. But you know, Linux O just like went ahead and exposed himself. So nah man. But yeah, I'm gonna check out what you guys sent me in the Discord. That's kind of what the Discord's for. If you guys aren't plugged in and connected to the Discord, you need to get plugged in and connected to the Discord. That is where you can send suggestions or things for me to watch on stream. If you want to just connect with me, Want to talk to the community, all kinds of stuff. It's a great place to just chill and hang out. All right, let's see here. We have I drank a shot of apple cider vinegar for the first time, 200 subscriber special, and this is recent. This is like 6 hours ago. So congrats, Lennox O, for hitting 200 subscribers. He's actually not in the chat for once, but this is cool.
Yo, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to the Linux channel. Today,
also, I'm gonna say that, like, you're maybe you guys probably aren't gonna be able to tell because of my compression settings, but your voice is really, really quiet, and it's really, really hard for me to like hear what you're saying. I would suggest maybe boosting up your volume, well, not boosting it. Don't boost it. You guys boost your audio. Like, I forget who it was that sent me a clip. I did end up posting it on the Clips channel, but like, it was quiet. So you guys just like blasted the audio. Like, no, just compress the audio. But I think, Lennox O, if you compress your audio, it'll help this sound a lot. It'll make it be a lot like easier to hear and understand. But let's see.
yo, what's going on, you guys?
Mr.
Welcome
Pizza
to the Linux
said in the
channel.
chat,
Today,
if Lennox O isn't in the
it's
chat,
gonna be
he's
kind
either
of
sleeping with
interesting.
his brother or eating bananas XD.
That's true. That's true. That banana video, honestly, is like one of like the best. I think it's one of the best reactions I've had on this channel in a while. Just because you don't see that many videos like that, and so that took me by surprise, and that just made for a great streaming moment.
Yo, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to the Linux channel. Today, it's gonna be kind of an interesting video because today we are going to be drinking apple cider vinegar.
Is that just like the straight like apple cider vinegar? That stuff is nasty. But I have thought about like using that 4-shot challenges just because it's so nasty.
For the commemoration of hitting 200 subscribers on the channel. I never thought we would get it done, but thank God we did.
That's cool. You should not be surprised that you hit like 200 subscribers. I feel like everyone pretty much should feel like they can hit 2,000 subscribers. And I think if you don't feel like you can hit 200 subscribers, you never will. Because you have to at least put in the effort to feel like my content could grow to the point where I'm going to be a big creator. If being a big creator is like the goal, then you should definitely like have that level of confidence in yourself that your content is actually gonna get to that level. Or else you're just like your content will peter out, and then your channels will die, and then that'll be that. But I mean, it's really cool though for you to like kind of be at this point where you felt like you weren't gonna be able to get 200 subscribers. You're at 204. And now you've kind of crossed that threshold. It's always fun to achieve something that you've never thought that you'd be able to achieve.
I just want to say thank you guys so much.
Wait, wait, what? Linux O actually put it in the chat. Don't drink. Linux O says don't drink that as shots. The recommended amount is 1 to 2 tablespoons. Wait, how much is in a shot though? I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know that. But wait, Mr. Pizza says apple cider vinegar is bad for you? Wait, what does it do? Wait, what? Because I remember being around like people who were saying, being around people who were saying that like apple cider vinegar is like good for you actually. Let's see. Like, unless you guys like in the chat, like, I mean, Linux O says it's like it's not bad for you, just don't overdo it. I see. Let's see. Oh, I mean, this stuff doesn't seem great. I mean, we've got delayed stomach emptying, which basically means that like, does it slow down your digestive system? Oh, and that could cause this gastroparesis, whatever. That could cause heartburn and bloating and nausea. That does not sound fun. Digestive side effects. Huh. Low potassium levels and bone loss. Erosion of tooth enamel. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Throat burns. Yeah, that's kind of the point. Skin burns. Interesting. drug interactions. What? All this stuff seems fringe, but I mean, I'm glad you guys are throwing it out in the chat. This actually isn't something that'll like absolutely kill you. So,
for actually motivating me to do stuff. Like if I never had such a spectacular audience like you guys, like I wouldn't have been as what I was. You're literally
That's
a part of
cool.
me.
That's
if
cool.
I literally had nobody on this channel, then this channel wouldn't be what it is. Again, just wanted to thank you guys. But anyway, aside from that, I thought why not would it be the best idea to park it off with apple cider vinegar. Yes, this is apple cider vinegar. I've heard that the people use this for diets and stuff like that, for people that are trying to lose weight and stuff like that. So
that's why I was wondering why you guys were saying that it was unhealthy, because I've known people who, I mean, granted, their choices of what they would use as sustenance were kind of interesting, and their diets were interesting also. But they also were claiming that there were some health benefits to drinking apple cider vinegar, so they would do it occasionally or regularly, depending on the family. So
let's see, what are the nutrition facts?
DJLO, why are you calling us out in the chat, man? I feel called out. DJLO, what are you doing? Mr. Pizza, no, it's fine. You know, it's not like, I mean, being a virgin is not like something that I'm like ashamed of. I'm just like not like screaming about it. Mr. Pizza, what is why, Mr. Pizza, why are you so offended? Why is that like something you're like upset about? Like, I mean, your virginity or lack thereof is like not like a big like badge of honor. I feel like it's not like, you don't gotta take it so personally, man. It's just a joke. Also, hey DJ Allo, what's up?
Absolutely nothing except potassium. Look right there.
Wait, what?
Absolutely nothing except potassium. Look right there.
This is no health benefits?
Nothing there, just potassium. That's literally it. So, you're gonna have a little potassium. But
wow,
I know this helps a lot with a lot of things. It's good for your health. So, technically, this is doing less harm than good. Well, don't overdo this because it could be very bad. What am I supposed to say? It could be very bad for your body if you drink too much of apple cider vinegar. But I wouldn't recommend taking shots, which is what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be taking a shot.
You're like, oh, I'm not gonna do this because this is really, really bad. Well, he's saying like, don't do this because this is like really, really bad for you. And then you're like, that's what I'm gonna be doing today. That's funny. That's good. That's good.
Of apple cider vinegar today. So as you can see, I have a shot glass in here.
Oh, okay. I want to see this glass.
Homies, you know, you gotta take a little shot. You know?
That's cool. That's cool. Let me know you're in the chat. What have you taken shots of in your shot glass before? Honestly, I've never actually like taken any shots. I think I just used it in so far. I think I used it. It's basically I just use this like a tasting vessel if I have a drink that I want someone to want to like let somebody else taste, or if I'm tasting something. But I think my sister got some ramune that I reviewed for the vlogs channel, and I poured it out in the shot glass.
You know, in the shot glass. Hold on. But let me get a measuring spoon first before I do it. The recommended amount of drinking the apple cider vinegar a day is like 1 to 2 tablespoons around it. So for my health and safety, I'm gonna be getting a measuring spoon and just measure it out. So I'll be right back. Okay, so funny enough,
okay,
I actually
good. He's back.
Find any
I'm so
measuring
confused.
cups, so I'm just gonna take. Hold on, let me adjust the camera so you can see. I'm going to like give it a good amount. Actually, let's see what this smells like. It smells a lot like apple cider. Well,
does it smell like vinegar though? That's the question. That's the question.
I can kind of smell the vinegar in
Ah, interesting.
Okay, I think it's. Oh my god. Okay, I think it's enough. I didn't fill it all the way to the top.
Oh
I just filled it like half-ish way, so I think that should be a fair amount, you know.
I couldn't even imagine doing this. This is gonna be rough.
I am a little nervous.
You should be, dude.
Because people say it's probably the most thing that could burn your throat, so But I mean,
Kind
it's
of.
not going to kill you or like hurt you or anyway. Just as long as you don't overdo it. I'm gonna
Right.
put a disclaimer. Please don't overdo on apple cider vinegar. It will ruin your teeth and your stomach. It is not good for you.
Wait, Linux out. Wait, you're in the chat saying that apple cider vinegar is stronger than vodka? Ah, how do you know that? But anyways, that's interesting.
But I know it is good for you if you take it on some occasions to drink. So, okay.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
3, 2, 1.
My guy, the first mistake you made was keeping it in your mouth for so long. Why did you do that? It was so hard. It was so hard to watch. Like, I see you like in the physical pain and then you just like hold it in your mouth. Like, why? Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, my eyes are watering.
Whoa, for real?
That is strong. It's fine, I'm good. So, honest review.
You have me kind of actually wanting to do like a shot like challenge with apple cider vinegar now, or some sort of thing. Like if I the tough thing is though, if you go out and buy apple cider vinegar, it comes in like a fairly sizable container. So if I was gonna get some just for like a streaming challenge, it would be way too much. I would use it in one stream. No one would sub to me. I would sip like 5. I would sip it like 5 times, and then like I would be done with it, and then I would just have a bunch of apple cider vinegar over there. You know, they're not going to be sitting down chugging, you know, for like the next week or two.
Oh, okay. It's gone now. Okay. I
Okay,
can feel,
good.
oh, I can feel the burning in my chest. It feels so weird. Oh. Yeah, I'm only gonna take one shot. That's gonna make me throw up. But I can see why did.
Yo, you want to know a funny story? Like, so like one time I was like, hold on, let me see here. If you guys want to know a funny story, one time I was playing, it was like I think it was in like high school or maybe it was like middle school, one of the two. But I was on like this homeschool basketball sports team, and so we'd be playing basketball, and we would like go on these trips, and they're like in state, so it's not like anything crazy. But one day I went played a game. Kind of early in the day, I was feeling kind of sick, kind of feeling like not great. And I kind of just like almost like I didn't feel like I was gonna throw up, but like just my stomach just felt bad. But as like the day kept on going on, I was like, oh, okay, I could play the game. I played the game and actually played pretty well, if I remember correctly. And then I get home, like on the way home, like I'm like not feeling great. And then we get home, and mom's like, I'm not feeling great. I mean, I've heard that like apple cider vinegar like helps you and like keeps you from like throwing up if like you're gonna throw up or whatever. And she's like, and I'm like, okay, I'll like have some then. So I drink some apple cider vinegar, and then 2 hours later I throw up, which is like worse than if I hadn't drank the apple cider vinegar in the first place, because now not only was I throwing up all of like the stuff that I'd like eaten for like the whole day basically, but also I was throwing up the apple cider vinegar that I just drank like 2 hours before. And it's hard for me to know even to this day whether or not I threw up because of the apple cider vinegar or I would have thrown up anyways. So, but that's my fun apple cider vinegar story.
They recommend.
Guys, this thing I paused on a very good frame. Do I always pause on frames you guys like? I feel like I actually pause on bad frames, but it seems like you guys like them.
I'm only gonna take one shot. That's gonna make me throw up. But I can see why they recommend this, because it's gonna burn. Oh, no, that was intense. Like seriously, it's like Takis. It was seriously intense. but oh my god, I have never had something that burned or like lingered that much. Like literally not even 10 seconds here to here, right there. It's literally like alcohol. It goes straight down to your whole body very quickly in just a fast moment. It really like.
So you're making me feel good about the Mountain Dew, the Flamin' Hot Mountain Dew challenge. So that must have been a cakewalk compared to what you drank.
I don't think it's the right term. Coated my throat a little bit when I drank some of it. Yeah, but apparently it's healthy and with a limit. It's healthy with the limit.
Nice.
And
yes.
Unless you keep doing it. That was interesting. That was the power move that there. It was really like lingered in my body. But anyway. Again, thank you for 200 subscribers. Thank you so much for participating me and watching me drink apple cider vinegar for the first time. It was quite a ravishing experience, not gonna lie. Like, I was actually very curious on why people thought that apple cider vinegar would be such a like sensation experience, as like how the people been saying this like actually tastes like, or actually this burns more than alcohol would have. It really does burn, like. Not gonna lie, so I'm probably not gonna take another shot of it. It didn't taste bad. It just felt like heartburn. It just felt like heartburn. I literally just drank heartburn if that was a liquid. Yeah, thank y'all for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on the notifications. Let's see if we can hit to 500 subscribers. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video, guys. Reese's Pieces.
Nice outro, man. Good job at hitting your 200 subscriber mark. That's pretty dope. But yeah, do you guys like those like shot taking challenges? Like, are those like things that you guys enjoy? Like, I didn't even know that was like a big thing that people like. I mean, because the thing that like took me by surprise is like when I did it, I think it ended up being like one of my biggest streams that especially like at like to the point when I did the event. So. And then we see Linus O here, and this is like kind of a fun video that I think is probably going to perform pretty well too. So now I'm kind of like interested, and I didn't know that like drink challenges were so huge. I didn't know that was a thing. I mean, I knew that like, you know, taking shots is like a thing that people do on stream, but I didn't know it was something that people do like as a challenge.
Leave doors a lot.
Okay, hold on, let me see.
Ow.
Why is my video not pausing? This is one of the most annoying things about YouTube, is that it loads like a crummy program that I would have written when I was 13 that kept on freezing because I had like 15 different recursive daemons running in the background. This is a program that is created and run and created, owned and operated by a multi-million-dollar company, and it should run a little bit better than this. But maybe I'm just being mad and aggro and upset because this doesn't run well. I mean, after all, I am streaming on a potato, so maybe that's it. But anyways, we've got this video from Cutie Cinderella. We haven't really reacted to much stuff from like the Twitch streaming folks, but I do want to get into like reacting more of their stuff than just like Hassan Piker. But here we have Cutie Cinderella hang out with Coots, which I haven't seen much of Coots. I did hear that Ludwig got a cat, so that's kind of cool. But I haven't seen Cutie Cinderella interact with Coots at all, so let's see what this is.
Leave doors a lot. Ow! Ow!
Oh, that's the worst. That's the worst. Like when you're trying to hold a cat and the cat keeps on clawing you.
Leave doors a lot. Ow! 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 Hey. We're chilling. Ow! That's the opposite of chilling. We're chilling. Breathe.
So do they not get along? Like, is that a thing? Like, is that like a running subplot?
Okay. Ow! Don't be mad at me. Can we just relax? You are being crazy. I need you to relax. Hey, do you want this treat?
The microphone sounds really good. It's just in order to get it working properly, you have to have it in frame, and I don't really want to have a microphone in frame. And also, it's an XLR camera, I think, in my microphone, and I don't want a. I like USB microphones personally too.
Cause Dur's got treats. Do you want treats? Ow!
Oh, hold on, wait a minute. Thank you, Viant, Viant in the chat said, do you do music reactions too? I do sometimes. And actually, you guys reminded me because there's a music video that I had planned on reacting to. Oh, Vinny. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to say your name wrong, man. There's a music video that I had planned on reacting to quite a while ago. No, well, not a while ago. I plan on doing this today, but I didn't. I didn't remember to put it in the playlist. But here, you guys know Tim Pool, right? I think I actually have some of his clips queued up to react to tonight. But he has a music video out. I don't know if this is, I think this might be his first live action music video. You guys don't know, he's kind of something of a musician. Like he plays like instruments and stuff. He has a thing called Timcast Records now, I suppose. I mean, his artist name is Timcast, which I was surprised by. But this song is called Only Ever Wanted. I did hear him plugging this a little bit on the Timcast IRL podcast. But here, I don't know. I'm interested to see if this song is something that I'll like. Also, Vinny, sorry. If you want me to react to any music or something, send it into the Discord, and I'll consider it. Because I have a whole React request channel in the Discord. It's not bad, especially for our first music video. With DJ Ellis, LOL, I'm emo. Are you making fun of these guys? It does kind of scream like I'm emo a little bit, but you have to realize that like the frontman, like Tim Pool, like this is how he dresses like every day. The man lives in a beanie, so I don't know if you can you can make fun of him like I'm like I guess, but like it's just like how he is, so it's like fair. But DJ L said, no, I'm emo. Oh, you're saying you're emo. Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting, but I never, is that like new? I mean, I've watched some of your videos. I didn't really pick that up.
Did you think I'd leave you there? Did you think I'd never keep my promise?
That doesn't even sound like him.
Could leave you there.
That sounds so good.
Did you think I'd never keep my promise to? It's easy when I'm lying there with you.
Yo.
And every night I dream of you. And every night I promise.
For some reason, I thought that there'd be people from the Timcast crew in this music video. I have no idea who these people are.
To hold on to the dream.
DJ L says, I'm emo for real. My mom says I am. I don't know. I don't know if you're emo. Maybe you're not emo. Maybe you're just depressed. Because there's a difference between the two. not to make fun of any mental health or anything, but I'm just saying that like for someone who's like not depressed or someone who's like very far removed from depression, anyone who is like depressed is gonna seem emo to them. But it doesn't make you actually emo, like you're just sad. Vinny makes a good point, saying emo equals emotional though. So it's pretty much the same. That's a good point, I suppose, but I thought it was all like an internalized thing. Like I thought it was all, well, not internalized. I thought it was all like an image thing. I thought it was Lennox, oh, you said you're watching She-Hulk right now. Oh, that'll get you depressed. DGL says, I'm acting like the 14-year-olds with blue hair and a nose ring on TikTok. Oh, look at e-girls. I don't know, man. For real? No, I couldn't picture you as an e-girl at all. Vinny says it's the stereotype people put on emo. Emo has and always will be emotionally low. I don't know. I don't think that the only qualification, maybe this is just me, but you guys in the chat are making like a really good argument. Like, what does it mean to be emo? Does it mean that you're just sad, or does it mean that you have the entire modern emo aesthetic? Because, I mean, Vinny in the chat is saying, you know, it's the stereotype that people put on emo, but being emo has and always will be emotionally low. But here's the thing, you know, if you are a cowboy and you have depression, are you emo? I feel like you're not. I feel like you're a cowboy. That's like a whole different thing, isn't it? Like, isn't I like that's like a whole? I feel like that's a whole different thing. Vinny says emo equals showing you're sad or black-hearted. I suppose there's got to be a thing about this. You know, I'm gonna search this on YouTube and see if there's actually a thing about it. Emo versus depression. There's like a lot of videos about a lot of videos actually. Not all of them are relevant. Priya being a goth queen for 5 minutes. Bye. No. Let's see here. Emo versus depressed. Let's see what this is.
Hello everyone, I'm here to touch up on a little thing that has been bugging me for so long. And it's when people say that all emo kids cut themselves. And
I'm gonna say this guy seems emo. Also, I'm guessing that there's probably gonna be some sort of a losing IRL XP mentioning here. So if you guys you're kind of sensitive to that sort of thing, I don't know.
Hello everyone, I'm here to touch up on a little thing that has been bugging me for so long. And it's when people say that all emo kids cut themselves. And you know what? That's kind of bullshit. But before I really get into this, I would like to make a few things clear. Yes, I am wearing eyeliner. Why? Because emo kids do it, and I'm here to talk about emo kids.
Okay, but does wearing eyeliner make you emo, though? Because, I mean, look at this guy. Look at this guy. If you guys are fans of Christian music, you guys probably know who this guy is. Peter Furler, frontman of the big Christian band Newsboys, or at least he's the former frontman of the group Newsboys, and look at that. I think he has in fact lined his eyes. He actually is wearing some eyeliner there. Let's see. Here we go. This is a good picture. The nice thing about this picture is that it's completely flattering. But as you can also see that like he is wearing eyeliner. Anyways.
Katie, don't worry, I'm not going to make a habit out of wearing eyeliner, so you really don't have anything to worry about. I'm going to go wash it off as soon as this video is done. Swear to God.
Interesting.
Now, anyway, when people say that all emo kids cut themselves, that's kind of bullshit. People say that if you cut yourself, you're emo. That's bullshit. People who
Interesting. Vinny, in the chat, what do you think about this?
themselves are not emo. People who cut themselves are depressed. That's the difference.
Wait. Let me go
That's
back.
kind of bullshit. People say that if you cut yourself, you're emo. That's bullshit. People who cut themselves are not emo. People who cut themselves are depressed. That's the difference.
Interesting. So what he's saying here is that there is a difference between being emo and being depressed. But like, Vinny, do you think that like Vinny says so being emo has nothing to do with doing something to yourself? Right, yeah. Because it's about an externalized, like, how you present yourself.
Emo is simply a style. Emo is a kind of style in which you wear a lot of black clothing, possibly eyeliner, you listen to a certain kind of music, and you don't cut yourself. I mean, that's not the point of it.
Yeah.
They listen to
Right.
stuff like My Chemical Romance, Bullet for My Valentine, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. It doesn't really matter. But I listen to My Chemical Romance, and I listen to Bullet for My Valentine. And you know what? Am I emo? Yeah, I am. I like the style. I wear the black clothes. I have my hair long. I don't always wear eyeliner, but, bitches. But yeah, I'm emo. Fine. Am I depressed? No. Do I cut my wrists? No. Never have.
Nice.
But people have always called me emo. I don't know. I'm crazy. So,
Wait a minute. Vinny says it literally posted what emo stands for in the chat though. Wait, where did you say that? Yeah, the term emo is a contradiction from is a contraction of emo core, which itself is a contradiction of the words emotional and hardcore. Oh, it's a contraction. Oh, I see. Emo and hardcore. But it's like, I think isn't it more about like portraying yourself as such rather than actually being emotional or being hardcore? Like, that's what I thought. And that's kind of, I think, what this guy is getting at.
Point is that emo people don't cut themselves. Depressed people do. And actually, if you'll Google that shit, you will find out that more preppy girls commit suicide than emo boys and girls combined.
Oh,
and you'll actually find that there are more rich people suicides than poor people emo boys and girls combined suicides. So, I don't know where you guys get your facts, but I get them off the internet. God. I'm not doing much better.
Vinny says, by showing your emo, you're basically showing your emotional and hardcore. Yes. So that's how you are like, it's the image that you're portraying of yourself. I mean, yeah. But I mean, it doesn't mean that you're emotional, and doesn't mean that you're hardcore. It's just like how you present yourself. So you can be emotional. You can hide it. Most depressed people kind of hide their depression. So you're not gonna being emotional. Like, if you see like some dude who's just like walking around with just like normal clothes that like Justin Bieber would be wearing like 10 years ago, you wouldn't assume that person, even if that person is depressed, and you wouldn't know it. So you wouldn't be like, oh, that person's emo. Like you point to like external like identifiers to be able to say like, yo, that dude's emo, man. Look at him. Like, you know.
But at least I still have some proof to back up what I'm saying. Anyways, the basic ideology of what I'm trying to tell you is that just because you dress a certain way and you listen to a certain kind of music doesn't mean that you have to be classed in with the depressed people. I think that the depressed people are in a league all their own. I just want people to realize that what they say is stupid, and it's not even hurtful, because it's completely wrong. God damn it, put that hairbrush down, Tawny. Stupid shit, don't. Hang on. This is my crazy psychotic pitbull time.
Vinny says, but roughly 80% of depressed people aren't afraid to tell what's going on with themselves. What? Dude, where are you getting that from? Where are you getting that from? Only a small percentage of depressed people cut themselves or harm themselves, so it's weird. I mean, I feel like that's probably true. It's probably true. But where are you getting the fact that like I don't think I agree with you here. I'm sorry.
And she's cool. I like her a lot. And she knows the difference between emo and scene and goth and depressed people. Right? Right.
Interesting.
Anyway, I think that's probably going to be the end of this video. It's kind of a stupid ending. But, you know, when are my videos ever good?
I don't know. I feel like that was a good video. Thanks. Thank you, Seraph61890, for explaining depression to us and the difference between that and being emo. I think I don't know. Vinny says they're not afraid to tell others, so they do tell people. I mean, I guess it's like the difference. But I feel like what you were saying was like you were insinuating that most of them do. That's like a predominant thing that like a lot of people who are like depressed, they just like run around talk about how depressed they are. But I think that like half the people who run around and saying that they're depressed are probably not depressed. But then like maybe like 3 times that number actually are depressed and don't talk about it. So it's like it's a weird like dichotomy thing of like it's a crazy matrix. But anyways, I want to get back to this Timcast music video that I wanted to react to. I've only gotten like a minute into it.
Might one day wake up next to you. Did you know you left me there, staring at the heartache in my soul, as I fell to pieces into the one you're leaving for? There's only one thing I want you to know, is that I have found my peace here. Only every morning
instrumentation with all of like the reversed instruments in the background. That's pretty cool.
Did you think I'd walk away? Did you think I'd break my promise? Not today. It's easy when I'm standing there with you, yet every day away from you.
Also, how am I just now realizing that like a lot of these are like flashbacks and he's walking through the house with all of these like memories of like a past relationship? That's like kind of like, I mean, that's like good storytelling.
It's another day I break my promise to hold on. 'Cause holding on is harder than I knew.
Like an auto-tune.
Did you know I left you there, staring at the heartache in your soul? It's your heart.
I don't know if you guys have seen The Notebook, but this is like this is giving me like The Notebook vibes, honestly. But it's like if instead of like the main character building a house, he just bought it instead.
Fell to pieces into the world you're leaving for. There's only one thing I think you should know, is that now you can rest in peace, dear. I only ever wanted you to stay. I only ever needed you.
I wonder if there's auto-tune on his voice.
I only ever wanted you to stay. I only ever needed you. I only ever needed you.
Okay. Nice. I'm feeling this. I really like how like they're not like trying to do like too much. Like it's like they know exactly what they can do with this music video and they're just hitting that hard. Oh, nice. Yo, that's cool. Wait, so the house itself is just a metaphor for the relationship rather than... I thought it was a flashback thing. That's cool. I didn't even think about that. Okay. Oh. Okay. Interesting. That was really well done. But I do wonder if they did a more deep, like, explanation of the story, because towards the end there, I feel like it gets pretty muddled. Like, you feel like it's one thing, and then it, like, becomes something else, and that, like, totally works, and then it, like, becomes another thing. I'm a little bit confused. Hold on, let me see. Only ever wanted. Oh! Oh, nice. I didn't know there was a promo for this in Times Square. That's cool, because they have been buying out, like, billboards in Times Square. So that's kind of been cool to see. But, hold on, let me see. Wait, Hasanabi reacts to like Tim Pool as a rocker? What? Vinny says, nah, he opened doors he couldn't close. in the end, he managed to close the doors and get going again. Oh, now that's that. Okay, I can kind of get that. I kind of get that.
Here is Tim Pool, Timcast new single "Only Ever Wanted" coming August 26th. Let's take a look at that.
I will say, I am absolutely astounded by how good this song is. Like, his like vocal strength, like at that part at the end, was about as shocking as like the softness of his tones in like the beginning of the song, and also the strength of the instrumentation was like they really brought it. Like that was impressive. That's impressive. And like a million times more impressive than his first song, which was like "Will of the People," which is like, it's not bad, but it's just like more like it was like a general, like typical normal song. Like it's not like anything crazy, but this is like impressive, I think.
Honestly, a lot of people say like, "Oh, Hassan, you got a lot of money and you changed up. Like you bought ugly Gucci shirts. Like, should I have done this instead, you idiots?" You know what I mean? All my haters. This is what happens when you have too much money as a
How are we gonna handle this? This dude is making art. What's so bad about this?
political commentator. You like dive into areas where you like turn your pet project into yet another avenue to express your creativity. And honestly, it's so much fucking like, I personally think like buying as many cars as I want would not be as damaging as this.
Why? No, it's worse because you're just feeding it. Hold on, wait a minute. Hassan, you're an anti-capitalist. And now you're saying that being capitalistic is better than creating something. Not even being capitalistic. Being consumerist is better than creating something new as long as you have like a certain amount of capital. Why? Like would you rather like Jeff Bezos like sold all of Amazon and all of his companies and the Washington Post and Twitch and all these other things that he owns and just bought yachts for the rest of his life? You know, like, you may not like how Twitch is run. You may not like how Amazon's run. You may not like how Amazon basically treats its employees like slaves. That's valid and that's fair, but you can't deny the fact that those companies still do bring some sort of value to individuals. And that's not even getting anywhere near as good, helpful, or virtuous as creating works of art. Because I think that like expressing yourself and creating something new is a million times better than just sitting back and consuming. And I was actually thinking about this today. This is a big reason why I stream. Because I was thinking about this. I was like, you know, I could sit like in my room for 2 hours and just watch YouTube on my laptop and just like watch YouTube videos. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. Yeah, I kind of like this video. I'm going to scroll on Instagram. I'm going to maybe glance on Twitter a little bit, see what's popping. I'm going to snap some people on Snapchat. But I feel like it's actually better and more creative, conducive, and probably better for my mind and my brain, and just like better overall if I instead actually create something. You don't have to be consuming something all the time. And it's very strange for someone like Hassan Piker here, who's so anti-capitalist, to say, don't make anything, just buy stuff. Like, hearing an anti-capitalist say go buy stuff is like so crazy. But I think it's mostly just that he doesn't like Tim Pool. Like, of course, if he doesn't like Tim Pool, of course he's gonna tell people, like, tell him, like, hey, stop making stuff, Tim Pool, because he doesn't like him. But it is a little bit hypocritical, and that can't get lost in the sauce.
Okay, my cat got up and left when this song came out. I think
like this dude is over here saying like, oh, like if I had that much money, you know what I should do? I should make art. I should buy cars. But you know what? This guy runs 3 shows. 3. He's got this, which is like the Twitch stream, which is kind of a show. But then on top of that, he has Fear And, which is formerly known as Fear and Malding, which is a podcast. And then on top of that, he has The Leftovers with Ethan Klein of H3H3. So he is doing the exact opposite of what he's saying. Actually, as he makes more money, he's creating more ventures and creating more content, expressing himself in different ways. Whether or not it's like through a rock song or a 3-hour-long podcast, doesn't really matter. Like, the difference is negligible, because the whole point, I think, is like to kind of convey a message or an emotion or intellect or something like that.
honestly, it's so much fucking like, I personally think like buying as many cars as I want would not be as damaging as this. Okay, my cat got up and left when this song came out. I think you owe me
Hassan's logic is a different kind of logic. It is different kinds of logic. Because like most people's logic, I like look at it, like examine it. I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Hassan's logic, I'm like, where is it?
Payment for psychic damage. I mean, this is like Tim Pool's having a midlife crisis, and he wants you to experience it as well.
Oh man, he's reacting to the pre-release. He didn't react to the actual video.
It's just like, it's just terrible. Let's run that again. Let's run it again.
I can understand him not liking the video because it does look like it's a little bit low budget. But it's still not bad. There have been so many worse videos I've seen on the internet.
What if he forced downloads it like YouTube? Incel at the disco? Yeah, Panic at the Disco because there's a school shooter. Like, Panic at the Disco, why are you panicking? Oh, because, you know, there's a shooter. There's an incel.
It's not working. It's fine. It's not working.
Is the song about drunk driving? I hope so. I mean...
No. Hassan logic sounds like a memory eraser spell. I feel like Hassan's trying to be way smarter than he actually is. Yeah, he is. Wait. I'm gonna see if Hassan reacted to it today. Did he react to it today? I guess he did. Well, if he's not gonna react to it, I mean, the whole point was for me to see if there was a clip or something where they talked about it. Maybe not. I mean, he'll react to it eventually, and then there'll be a clip of it. But yeah, no. There's nothing about it here. Anyways, chat, what did you guys think of that music video? What'd you guys think of that? Did you guys like it? I'm gonna read some of your guys' chats here for a sec. There's a piece that says, I ordered 2 things on Amazon today. Nice. What'd you order? Also, is the John Cena video, does that have copyright? I feel like that'd be good to know. Bro, I'm looking at this video. There's no way that this is copyright free. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna react to this, unfortunately. I'm pretty sure it's got copyright. Yeah, I'm 1,000% sure it's got copyright. Yeah, I'm just looking at this here. It's like, bro, look at all these licenses. Man, with all those licenses, you could go like hunting, fishing, and doing mercenary work. Like, that's like so many licenses. Let's see. GGLL says, when I type the letter E in my search bar, the first thing is Winona Ryder's Wikipedia page. I feel like that means you have a problem. I'm sorry, it's a little mean. It's a little mean. Let's see here. Okay, how about this? Because I think like the next video I gotta react to should be something from the react requests. I'm gonna do react requests, but I skipped the YTPs. Impossible difficulty. How am I gonna even find? Well, let's see. What's this? I found something that looks like music. Vinny, is that what you said? Come on, Vinny, did you send me this? I wonder if this is... I feel like this is something where it's like they wish it was copyrighted, but it's not. It sounds familiar. Is this like a song that's like been making the rounds on TikTok or something? Oh! Yo, what? This is good. Oh, TGL says, oh, it's copyright. Vinny says this remix too heavily. Maybe. It's hard for me to tell because I also can't see all the details to know whether or not it's getting caught by any copyright. But I'll listen to the 120 mark. But one thing that's cool about this is, I don't know if you guys know, but I used to DJ for fun. This is literally the type of thing that I would DJ. Live, I would play live. Like, part of me wants to just like go and download this like once I'm finished. If I'm being honest, I'm pretty sure Newbie will only get a copyright streaming fee reacted to copyrighted music. Well, I feel like this is the original of this is copyrighted. I just don't know if this version is copyrighted or not. Oh, what? Yo, I was not expecting this. What is this? Okay. I will say that it's it is hardstyle. It's weird because it's like hardstyle with like using like sound design of dubstep, which is like weird, and I don't really like hear that a lot. And it's really cool to see people like, I don't know, mixing and matching like different like styles and things like that. Dang, man, that's nasty. That's good, man. That's really cool. Metal step. Okay. I didn't even know that was a genre. That's like that Newbie can react to John Cena's rap meme. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know John Cena made a rap theme. Like, it feels weird that it would be copyrighted, but I guess if it was like an official like intro theme, then that would make sense. Because of course they want to copyright it because it airs on TV and stuff. I saw the title of this video. It seemed kind of interesting. Apparently Dave Ramsey went on a political rant. Do you guys know who Dave Ramsey is?
Such an uproar, and I don't know when.
He's not a political guy.
Dave, I made the mistake of asking on Instagram, what are y'all's thoughts on this whole student loan thing? And apparently we're not the only ones with opinions.
You think?
I've never seen people so angry.
Yeah, it's a deal. It's a real deal. So if you haven't heard, President Biden announced yesterday that he is forgiving $10,000 of student loan debt for anyone making under $125,000. If you were getting a Pell Grant at the time, $20,000. No idea how he's going to fund it. No idea how it's going to be implemented. I mean, the government officials are running around like ants on a hot tin shovel. I mean, it's just like.
One thing is, I wouldn't assume that this is actually going to happen because, I mean, this guy's flipped back and forth more on this than like a dying fish in the hand of a 5-year-old child, because like he's like Joe Biden has like he ran on this. Like, this is one of his tentpole issues. Then as soon as he got into office, he retracted on it. Now, because his like approval ratings are in the gutter, he's like saying maybe I should actually go along with the lie that I ran on that helped me get elected in the first place. So I don't even know.
Because they don't know how the crap they're going to do this. Because it's kind of like, you remember when they announced the PPP thing?
Oh, yeah.
And we didn't have the staff to execute the stuff? And people started spending the money before they could actually get it, and then they never got it. So here's the thing. We still don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's out there, and I've missed it. But I said yesterday on the show.
Renee said the only thing you can do is lower school costs for the next generations. You can't do that, though. Now, I am seeing a trend. I saw a headline, and this is actually what will help decrease the cost of student tuitions. It'll hurt in the immediate, but after a while, it will start. Things will start correcting. Is fewer people going to college. That's what it'll be. You'll have these colleges that are basically dying because people are just not going to college anymore, and they'll have to make the tuition way less than it usually is just to get somebody in the class, in the classes, like anyone to fill up those seats. I understand. I think that Viet here is kind of wanting there to be some sort of legislation to come in and hand-fistedly lower the costs of college, but you don't want to do that. Look at what that's doing to the American healthcare system. Let's see.
I think he has to get congressional approval on this. I don't think you can do a $300 billion transaction without congressional approval. I don't think you can do that with an executive order. I might be wrong. I'm not a legal scholar, but pretty sure I'm right, which means he's got to run this through Congress. And here's what's interesting. You won't know if this is real by the time you vote in the midterms.
Yeah, exactly.
Brilliant political play.
Just leave the carrot dangling.
Well, it may not go through. Good chance it doesn't go through exactly as it is. I mean, you try to get something through Congress, come on, even if they're on your side, right? And
I thought that it was going to be like a executive order type deal.
And if it doesn't go through by midterms and Congress flips over and it's no longer democratically run, it will never go through. And so Biden just got all you people stirred up, if that's the case, for nothing, if that's how it goes down.
He's done this before. Why would he not do this again? This is like the people running around thinking that Trump, if he runs and wins in 2024, that he's going to drain the swamp. He said that before, and the swamp just got murkier. Look at the swamp now, right? He didn't get rid of anyone. He made Fauci a poster boy. I'm just using Fauci as an example. He is by no means the worst of the worst when it comes to members of the swamp. But I'm just saying, people hold on to these false promises from these politicians way too tightly. I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me. Donald Trump ran on draining the swamp, didn't drain the swamp, and now you have the GOP scared that the FBI and the IRS are going to go and go in a militarized fashion, go after like all of the Republicans in Middle America, creating militarized forces, hiring tens of thousands of armed individuals. Hey, but you drain the swamp, right? Sure, yeah, no. And now that Donald Trump is probably running again, people are trusting in him to do the same thing that he said he would do and didn't do it before. Why? How many times do you want to be fooled? Same thing with Joe Biden. Joe Biden, again, ran on student debt forgiveness. Then he was just like, I don't know about that. Probably not. And now he's coming back and everyone's like, oh, so he's going to do it. He said he would do it last time. He didn't do it. When the world makes you think he's actually going to follow through.
Now, won't that be a politically genius move?
Well, won't that really just rile up both bases even more?
Yeah.
Create more political divisiveness?
Yeah. I told you guys 3 months ago, that when they moved it to August 31st on the extension of the no student loan interest, I told you midterms are coming. This president will announce something in the last week of August about student loan forgiveness, and it probably will have no teeth. Now, I was wrong about the second part because this has got teeth. He stated exactly what he's going to do, and it is substantial. I thought it was going to be some wispy thing like he said the other day, we forgave $9 billion worth, and it wasn't, he didn't do anything. It was a school that went broke, and they have to forgive it. It had nothing to do with one of his programs. It was regulations that were already in place, but he's strutting around taking political credit for it. So very interesting, though. So he did. He's the worst economic presidency since Jimmy Carter. I mean, the guy, everything he touched turns to poop.
Okay, but you can't ignore the fact that Donald Trump kind of put us in the situation that we're in right now, because he drastically accelerated the printing process of the U.S. dollar. So we can't pin everything on the donkey. Just the tail.
When it comes to the economy.
Don't blame Joe Biden entirely for something that's partially Donald Trump's fault. Who gave you all the first 2 stimmies? That was Donald Trump. That was not Joe Biden. I'm just saying.
I mean, we got inflation, we got high gas pumps, we got a recession, we got stock market going down, we got interest rates going up, we got a housing market slowing. I don't know when the economy smelled this bad. It's been a long time, and I'm old.
Well, the timing is, as the young kids say, sus, which means suspicious, Dave. I'm teaching you something here.
Sus.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah, it is.
It's crazy as he learns how to say the word sus. It's hilarious.
Kids say sus, which means suspicious, Dave. I'm teaching you something here.
Sus.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah, it is sus for sure.
So why wait a year and a half?
That's not really sus. It's
Sus for sure. Yeah, nice.
Brilliant political move.
Yes.
So what you do, you back up for your midterms where the Democrats are going to take a bloodbath, and you throw a Hail Mary. And you go, I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you more money. Only you're not going to really know if I am by the time you have to vote. Mm-hmm. No, it's just.
Do you think this
the positioning is from? If you're a political manipulator, the positioning is just brilliant. It's just brilliant. It has nothing to do with it being good or righteous or principled. No, I'm just saying if I was running for president, I would do the exact same thing. I mean, that's just if I had no principles. I mean, that's exactly what I would do. Because it's just the way he set it up, and now he does apparently have the executive order ability to extend through the end of the year, no interest, so that's good.
We can kick the can down
those
the road.
of you.
Let's see here. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! What are you going on about in the chat, Vinny? Hold on. Let me ask you this question, Vinny. Where do you live? Do you live in the United States of America? I'm just curious here. Because that may change your perspective on this whole, gas price hikes and Russia war stuff. The Netherlands, okay. Then I'll forgive you for that, because I think that you're kind of less, again, you're also, I don't think, as affected as the United States is, at least in a way that they shouldn't be. If we're talking about who we're going to blame, because let's face it, a lot of people got gas from Ukraine or whatever. In case you guys can't see the chat, Vinny here said the gas and inflation isn't because of Trump or Biden. It's because of the action against Russia. Go to war or don't do anything. Don't throw sanctions and think you're fine. I actually talked about this earlier. I made a video that was called America's lack of energy independence got us to this point. The name is, or something like that. The name is really muddy. I talked about that too, where a lot of people, especially Republicans, think that we have the right to just issue out sanctions and then face no financial repercussions. That's absolutely stupid. But I will say this. This is not because of Putin, at least when it comes to America, right? Now, you live in the Netherlands, so you don't, the dynamics over there aren't exactly the same. A whole lot of oil. I feel like there are three major oil centers. When it comes to where oil comes from and where it goes through. You have Ukraine, you have the Middle East, so Saudi Arabia, Iran, and then you have the United States. Now, one big policy of Joe Biden's has been to basically shut down gas production in the United States. Slowly but surely, cut off things like the Keystone XL pipeline, then put a freeze on, putting in any new gas or oil generating facilities. They're basically neutering us when it comes to being able to produce our own energy, when it comes to clean natural gas, like fossil fuels and oil and coal and that sort of thing. And that was fine for a while. We didn't really experience any repercussions of this. Why? Because we would just import it from other countries. If we can't make the gas ourselves, let's just buy it from Iran. Let's buy it from Saudi Arabia. Let's buy it from Ukraine. Okay? And so that's what we did for a while. But then we sanctioned Russia, which shut down the production of the oil that we were importing. Because I think we were probably importing stuff from Ukraine. Because I remember our relations with Saudi Arabia are kind of sullied right now. We're not really on good terms with them. I remember Joe Biden was begging for Saudi Arabia to give us oil. And Saudi Arabia actually was no. But I think one thing that probably influenced them to that decision was that as Joe Biden was begging, he forgot what he was saying halfway through the sentence and had Joe Biden have like coach him into finishing his sentence. but kind of on a more serious note, Ukraine kind of triggered the consequences of Joe Biden's policies. Every policy has a consequence. It just might not be felt right now, So for example, like the demonization of men is like leading to a lot of like the gender stuff that's going on now. And we talk about unintended or unexpected consequences. That whole demonization of men thing came with a lot of men being abusive and then not being properly addressed. So you have a lot of cascading things that come down, and then people want to have these simplistic solutions to these very complex problems. Like, you got like the righties over here, like looking at the whole gender thing is like, well, it's them Democrats, it's those progressives, and their critical race theory, cultural Marxism. Well, yes, they're not technically wrong. It is cultural Marxism, and that it's like communism, progressivism, whatever. But it's not the root of the problem. You have all these societal issues that come to like the family and how we value each other and how we think we should react with interact with one another. It's more than just these basic 1-2 thing. We have a war with Russia and the gas prices are high. It must mean that the gas prices are high just because of Russia. It's not Joe Biden's fault at all. Like, hold on, let me see. Vinny says, literally every Western country has gas problems. Yes, I think that's in large part because there aren't a whole lot of countries that are mass exporting oil. So when you have, again, like 3 major, producers of gas and oil, you already got rid of one of them, which is the United States. And then you have the war with Russia that gets rid of the source in Ukraine. All you have left is Saudi Arabia, who I don't think gives out oil that liberally. So then he says, what you just said pretty much confirmed what I said, though. No. Because America, at least in America, now in the Netherlands, the situation might be a little bit different. But when it comes to America, our high gas prices are our own fault. And I will say this, we could help the world have lower gas prices overall if we didn't shut down a lot of our gas productions and halt the creation of new oil refineries. We have massive potential for extracting tons of oil from the earth. Alaska alone has tons of oil there. I think that was like a big part of the Keystone Pipeline situation too, because the Keystone Pipeline, I think that like went over to let me see. Exactly. Vinny, you're making my point. You're literally making my point. You say our gas comes from the USA and Ukraine. Exactly. So we stopped producing oil and gas, and Ukraine stopped producing oil and gas. I'm saying if the US kept on producing gas, we could feed the world, right? Like there was the story of Joseph. If you guys have read the Bible, there's a story of Joseph, right? Where God basically, long story short, God comes down, gives him the prophecy, and he's like, yo, there's gonna be a famine in the future. So what you need to do is you need to, save up a lot of your wheat, save up a lot of your resources, so that when the famine comes, you'll be rich. And guess what happened? That's what ended up happening. There ended up being a famine 7 years later, and I think it was 7 years later. And Joseph, who I think he was the king of Egypt at the time, had all this wheat, all this food, all stored up. The country was living in abundance, even though the entire world was in a depression. The world was coming to them to get their wheat, like to get all the things that they needed. And so what I'm saying is, like, I'm not saying that there wouldn't be economic issues, like internationally. Like that's like a stupid thing to say, that like a war wouldn't cause international issues. I'm saying that those issues would not be nearly as bad, especially when it comes to the American economy, if we were energy independent. Because if you look at Egypt once again, in that scenario, things were bad around them, but they still had all the food they needed. So like, it's not like everything was perfect. I think there was like the famine was due to like low rain, so there was still like not like the best amount of water available for people to consume, but they did have food. So I'm not saying that things would be perfect, but I'm saying that like when you look at the gas and inflation specifically, that is 100% our fault. You can't stop producing gas, then cut off the source of gas that we were buying stuff from, and then wonder why the heck we have a gas shortage. You know? It's like shooting yourself in the right toe. That's like shooting yourself in the right big toe. With a nail gun, and then some idiot in the road runs over your left toe with his car, and then you're blaming him for you not being able to walk. You shot yourself in the right foot with a nail gun. That's not that dude's fault. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Vinny, Ukraine stopped because of sanctions, though. Yeah, but again, we would be fine if we were producing our own oil. And again, we could feed the world with our oil. We could be selling tons of oil right now. We could probably be maybe the country's #1 oil exporter right now if you didn't shut down all of our processes. He says, I'm mainly saying America and NATO should have just done nothing or went for war with Ukraine, but not do sanctions. We haven't had anything happen since their sanctions. Yes. And this is actually kind of to the root of a very bad take I had initially with the whole situation, which I've since retracted. But I think as time goes on, it's proving to be true. And you're actually kind of making the point, which is that like we would rather have people die overseas than like in a war in a country that has nothing to do with us, pretty much, than sanction an evil country and have our finances take a hit. But I mean, I don't know. I think that America's just become so like passive in the past like 20 years. So I don't know. Let's get back to this video. I'm sorry, Mr. Pizza. I can tell you feel drained by this political conversation.
That guy, if you do get the $10,000 forgiveness, we are unabashedly happy for you. No sarcasm whatsoever.
We want to celebrate anyone who's getting
anybody who gets help from anything that is burdening them. We love it. We're happy for you. It's all good.
Then he says Russia's still doing fine. Russia was never doing fine. Oh my goodness. I have to show this to you guys. I'm sorry. I hate like interrupting a video to play you guys another video, but Russia has been in a terrible position for a long time. I'm actually wondering, Russia is dying. And I'm talking the population. Part of me, as soon as they announced the war, I thought they just needed more citizens because everyone kept on dying off, to be honest. Watch this.
Surrounding Russia is the prevailing belief that it's in some way equal in power to the US or even...
Take note, guys. This is made in 2017, and everything he's saying in this video is still accurate and valid to this day.
Surrounding Russia is the prevailing belief that it's in some way equal in power to the US or even so much a threat. Though Russia is not a trifling matter, the recent rise in Russophobia is unwarranted given that Russia's power is largely a mirage. The reality is that Russia is only considered a world power because of their nuclear capabilities. At the helm of this nuclear arsenal is a blowfish of a KGB master manipulator who projects an undeserved veneer of influence and power. What's not widely known is that Russia is plagued with many crippling issues. They're struck with massive health crises, a population in freefall, a sickly economy, and an antiquated military. Not to mention they're a country totally...
And I completely forgot about the antiquated military. That 100% explains why they haven't been able to defeat Ukraine yet, because honestly, it's been like 100 days. Like, hurry up, man. I mean, no, I don't want them to actually win, but I'm just saying it's pretty pathetic that this like giant world global power that is Russia can't handle these like ragtag bands of like freedom fighters.
Isolated, offering no real incentive for any nation to come to their defense in a world conflict. Their survival is completely predicated upon their nuclear power, but even that would end in a Pyrrhic victory, if any at all. In regards to...
Vinny says they have money. Where do you see that? It literally said that they're running out of money.
Population in freefall, a sickly economy, and an antiquated military. Not to mention they're a country totally isolated, offering no real incentive for any nation to come to their defense in a world conflict. Their survival is completely predicated upon their nuclear power, but even that would end in a Pyrrhic victory, if any at all. In regards to public health, despite having half the population of the US, Russia still manages to have more people infected by AIDS. This has devastated the populace with one of the fastest growing HIV/AIDS epidemics in the world.
Think about that for a sec. Russia has half the amount of people in the country as America does. And more people in Russia have AIDS. That's terrible. That's awful. And that is part of why everyone's dying off in Russia.
Reaching crisis levels. However, this still pales in comparison to the harsh reality that in Russia, more babies are aborted than are permitted to live.
Ooh. Ooh, that's bad. I forgot about that too. There's so many things. I just rattled off 2-3 things off the top of my head when I was initially going off. But this is worse than I remember. And that was 5 years ago. They're in dire straits, my guy.
Ultimately putting the rate of reproduction on its knees. This places an enormous strain on every facet of life, with the population getting older and older while having fewer young and able-bodied people to support the entire society. Another symptom of Russia's rapid decline is its rampant alcoholism that has killed 1/3 of the population. Alcoholism often goes hand in hand with economic stagnation, and this is clearly evidenced by the fact that Russia falls 2 spots away from last on the Human Development Index among developed nations. From rampant alcoholism to runaway abortion, all of this
Yo, what in the world? That is awful.
Societal decay seems counterintuitive for a country that is often believed to oppose all manner of degeneracy and affects legislation to the end of constraining it. The tendency of many to view Putin favorably just because he makes moral pronouncements is simply slapping a band-aid over a mortal wound. The average life expectancy for a Russian man is 64. To demonstrate how utterly abysmal Russia's ranking is, third world, war-torn countries like Iraq and Libya have somehow managed to leapfrog over
It's terrible. I feel bad for laughing, but that is just pitiful. That's just absolutely pitiful. Yo, I bet the life expectancy in Ukraine is higher than the life expectancy in Russia. Okay, it's actually close. Russia's is actually slightly higher. Russia's actually been rising for the past few years or so. And that's like updated. That's kind of updated. It's not like the most recent, but interesting.
over Russia's shockingly low lifespans. Libya, which underwent a brutal regime change, managed to best them with an average life expectancy of 75, trouncing Russia by 11 years. Additionally, the miserable living conditions in Russia are likely complicit in propelling them to a top spot in global suicide rankings. A lot of people might look at the sheer mass of the Russian expanse on a map and assume wrongly that this translates into proportional power. These people couldn't be more wrong. Russia's economy is in fact weaker than those of Italy and Canada, only amounting to a minuscule 1.8% of the world's economy.
But Vinny, you said they were rich. You said they were rich. What happened?
America, a superpower they're portrayed as a rival to, has an economy that is well beyond Russia's weight class, being 12 times larger and making up 24% of the world's economy.
This is the country y'all are scared of? All they have are nukes in the basement and alcoholics that are dying in the street. That's all that Russia has. And this is the country that the whole world is scared of. When China has nukes, North Korea has nukes, the United States has nukes, Iran has nukes. Why are we more scared of Russia than all of those other countries? Just don't make no sense.
More importantly, however, is that Russia's economy is entirely dependent on their ability to export oil. In 2012, oil, gas, and petroleum products accounted for over 70% of the country's total exports. What this basically means is if the US and its Western allies were to embargo all of Russia's exports, the glass house that is—
Hold on, okay, Vinny, hold up. You're in the Discord, right? Just join the Discord call, man. This is... Give me a second. I want to react to this whole video, and then let's hop into the Discord instead of just like going through like the YouTube chat, because I think it'd be better and more interesting and more and like better if we just like went through just had a normal conversation instead of going through the chat.
As Russia's economy would completely shatter, leading to mass hysteria and a total destruction of their standard of living. The only way to confront this challenge would be for Russians to totally restructure their export economy, something they're financially ill-equipped to do. In all probability, the simple act of isolating Russia's exports would lead to its absolute devastation. Because of the absurdly low probability of Russian success in a US-Russian conflict, creditors and lending institutions are not likely to lend the Russians what they would need to build their military to a sufficient degree of preparation. In their scramble to reallocate their already strained resources towards their dilapidated military.
This is like in the voice chat is 5 in the morning. I don't want to get the slipper. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But that's crazy though. I think it's really cool that I get viewers from like all over the country when I stream at night. That's cool. Or not all over the country, all over the world when I stream at night. That's always fun.
The economy would collapse and any potential war would be over before it even started. To even begin to compare the might of both countries is a waste of time, as obviously Putin and the rest of his governments are keenly aware of the aforementioned facts. This is why in the face of every provocation, they respond with tough talk and no action. For instance, when their jet was shot down over Turkey, the Russians denied that their jet was over Turkish airspace and viewed this as a provocation on the part of the NATO member state. Under normal circumstances, such an attack on a sovereign state's military would be a flashpoint for military conflict. Yet Russia quietly slunk back into its frozen chambers and said nary a word. Not exactly what you might expect of a power so formidable that the United States of America should quake in its boots.
This is the country y'all are scared of? This is the country y'all are scared of? The country that can't even beat Ukraine. Israel could be Ukraine in 2 hours. And they live far away.
It's commonly thought as well that Russia would find an ally in China, which is nowhere near the case. China has no financial incentive to side with Russia in an international conflict, given that China's largest trade partners are the EU, the US, and Japan. In the absence of any worthwhile allies, Russia's only sympathizers are failed poverty states such as Belarus, Iran, and Syria. This alone means that Russia has very little leverage over the United States and its allies.
You're saying, why would they not? Why isn't the US running through Russia? Because I think that Breeze from Hero Factory put it best. No one wants war. Here's the thing. It's true though. No one wants war. And I was saying this and I was like, I think people... Here's the thing. I think that people would rather lose all of their money over the course of 3 years than have 100 people die overseas. That's how it goes. Look, here's the thing. I made a video about this kind of like about like how America's gotten soft, or how like our society has gotten softer. But this extends beyond just like you know, what's real and not real, feelings and energy and all this like new age crap that's kind of like becoming pervasive in our society. You know, weakness is viewed as being virtuous, and so that's why America is a largely kind of pacifist country. You know, we're afraid to declare war on nations that we're already at war with. For example, we have this veneer of pacifism. It's like, oh, we're not at war. You know, what country are we at war with? You know, like, you know, we're not fighting Vietnam anymore like we used to, you know? And yet they're getting so muddled in international affairs that like they might as well. But the thing is just the American people would not be able to handle sending troops into a war knowing that some of them are going to die. Because we've kind of gotten to a point where we care so much about comfort, right? That we do not want to endanger anyone's lives, you know, in the country. And I don't blame like people for not wanting to like, you know, send your own citizens to like die. You know, that's not cool. Especially like me as a pro-life person. I don't like the idea of just like shipping people off to die either. But I think to a certain extent, you have to consider the fact that I'm not utilitarian, but you do have to consider the fact that, you know, if you postpone an inevitable war or you draw things out into an indefinite, you know, economic depression of your own making, is it worth not ripping off the Band-Aid, going through that war, and then just carrying on with life as usual? You know? Because, you know, let's say that we get into like a real depression, right? Like we go back 100 years, like to like 1920s type stuff, like, which is very possible, by the way, very possible, and I think it's somewhat plausible as well. That's not going to make people happy. I think people would actually rather send troops to war and just like finish everything, but it wouldn't feel nice, so they don't push for it and they don't support it. Let's see here. Vinny says no one wants war, war wants us. I don't know, because I think that like if Russia wanted to do whatever to Ukraine, we didn't have to get involved. You know, Russia and Ukraine has very little to do with us. So we kind of brought this on ourselves by kind of sticking our noses into something that no one really asked us to like deal with, except for maybe the Ukrainians. Says they don't need people to win wars nowadays. Yeah, you do. I mean, you need someone to push the button at least. Let's see. Vinny says if it's America, it's the whole of Europe that goes to war. True. If America declares war on Russia, Russia's toast. If America declares war on Russia, Russia will fall back immediately. He says, what if the NATO European countries going to war with the rest of Europe and America is going to war? Yeah, I think that if it is inevitable that we go to war, I think we need to just hurry up and do it, man, to be honest. They're tripping about sending soldiers. Afghanistan was for what? Security? Cool, they fought years for safety, and in the end, the enemy they fought still got it back. Yeah. But that's because we gave it to them. We actually like didn't do a bad job rooting out the terrorists, you know? Like kind of with Obama's administration and then leading into the Donald Trump administration, if you look at it, a lot of people, you know, terrorism of like that was sourced internationally drastically decreased over the past like 10 years, I think. And that was, I think, in large part due to Obama and Trump and how they approached the foreign affairs. Lost many soldiers for what? I don't know. I'm not like a huge researcher into the whole Middle East conflict, why we're out there. You know, I know some people say, oh, we're just out for the oil. I don't know, because I haven't done enough research to be able to say. Let's see. Vinny says we didn't do a bad job. You're right, but it's definitely a war fought for nothing. I mean, it's easier to say if you're from the Netherlands because 9/11 probably didn't affect you that much, but it struck fear in a lot of Americans, and so there was some sort of like they were living in a state of perilous plight. They were wondering if you know, terrorism in America is just something that's going to be normalized, and so we felt motivated to go out and get the terrorists, even though I think at the time they didn't really pose a huge threat to us, even though 9/11 was pretty bad, to be honest. But, you know, I think that also enraged and emboldened some terrorists to go after us when they ordinarily maybe wouldn't have. So, I mean, there's also that. But then we got rid of all the terrorist groups, I think, in America at least. So, I mean, we're good. I mean, we still ended up in a better position now than we were before, I think, as a country when it comes to safety, right? Because we started off getting, you know, a couple towers obliterated by a hijacked plane. And we've ended with virtually no international terrorism. At least no international terrorism that affects and kills Americans. They're going to reproduce? I wouldn't be shocked, but I don't know. They maybe they'll reproduce, but I don't know if they'll come back to America. See, we lost a lot of Dutch soldiers too. I'm actually not familiar with the Netherlands' role in militarization of the United States in Afghanistan. World Trade Center was the biggest digital and non-digital income spot for our country back then. I didn't know that. I do remember them being like a financial center and a powerhouse. Let's get back to this 1791 video.
The Russian leader's singular vice grip over every facet of society is probably the biggest indicator of its weakness. It's not a feature of powerful, prosperous societies that the entire structure of the country is dependent on one man. If anything, it belies a national inferiority complex. Throughout history, Russia has been subjugated to many military incursions and has suffered a considerable loss in military power since the fall of the Soviet Union. It's only natural then that they would rally around a man who projects the kind of power the country itself has lost. It's truly fascinating that Putin has managed to project such power abroad, consistently ranked as the world's most powerful person by Forbes, Time, etc., despite commanding a country that is outspent militarily by the US to the tune of $530 billion, or more money than they have in their central bank. For perspective, the US Air Force alone outspends their entire armed forces. All of For perspective, the US Air Force alone outspends their entire armed forces. All of this makes the exaggerated perception by Democrats and neocons within the Republican Party all the more laughable. If anything, the rogue state of North Korea should be an even greater concern given its proximity to allies Japan and South Korea, not to mention its rapid advances in nuclear proliferation. Putin is the equivalent of a blowfish managing to inflate the veneer of the power he wields in a way no other leader can. So much of Russia's foreign policy, most recently its incursion on Crimea, is dependent on US inaction. This much is demonstrated by their lukewarm response to President Trump's strike on Syria, one of its main allies. A muscular president quickly reveals the holographic power of Russia.
It's a good point. Yeah, see, Russia is just like, I still think it's comical that people are so scared of Russia. Vinny, send me a quick video into the React requests. If the video's like kind of short, like about as long as like this one was, I'll definitely react to it. But we didn't even finish the Dave Ramsey clip, man. Let's get back to this.
Someone is broke and out of work and can't feed their kids, and they get welfare checks. We're not mad at them. We want to help you do better than that over time, because that's not a recipe for good life. But for the short term, we're not going to shame you for taking help from the government that is legally offered. Ever.
Yeah.
Never have. Now, we'll tell you if we think it's stupid, and we'll tell you if it's not sustainable and if it's a bad long-term plan for your life, which usually government help falls in all of those things. But so we're happy for you. But we're also angry simultaneously with all of you who paid off your loans and did the right thing and were moral and said, I signed this, I have an obligation, I'm going to honor my obligation, I'm a person of integrity, and now I got screwed.
I will say that I don't like how a lot of the rhetoric is surrounding this is, oh, people who saved up and bought money and bought college with their actual money rather than using loans, they were moral. They did the right thing. I mean, yeah, they did the right thing. But if you're getting loans, I don't think getting a loans is immoral. Like, it's not immoral to get a loan. Like, that's pretty much how all businesses start. Businesses are created by taking out loans, more or less, a lot of the time. So it's not immoral to take out a loan. I don't understand where people get this like thing of like, oh, people who like can pay for college out of pocket are better than people who like use loans. Like, I don't understand that mentality.
Or I feel like I got screwed, and the reason you feel like you got screwed is because you got screwed. That's why you feel that
simple.
way. So
people have a right to be angry. People have a right to be happy. It's a mixed bag here, but most people are angry because they know how this works.
Well, that's in our feed.
Yes.
I mean, our feed is going to be people like that. It's not, if you went over in some left-wing thing, some left-wing whatever, wingnut thing, you'd have their feed is all that he's Saint Biden or whatever. Because that's just...
Yeah, true. I mean, the left wings, like they're probably out there at a Walmart right now buying new pens to fill in Joe Biden's name on the next round of mail-in ballots.
We got a bit of an echo chamber going here.
Sure.
So,
I don't know. Are they doing mail-in ballots this next election? I don't know. I don't know.
But there is precedent that I'm worried about where people go, okay, well, why pay off any more student loan debt? What if there's more forgiveness?
And here's the thing. I've been saying this since the beginning, and it's in the documentary Borrowed Futures. I've said it years and years and years ago. I've been saying it over and over. You really can't forgive student loans while you're still making them if the reason you're forgiving them is they're horrible and damaging to people, and yet you continue to make them. That's intellectually dishonest. So if anybody else with common sense, other than a politician, would go, wait, this is hurting people. First, let's stop it, and then let's try to help the people that were hurt.
Let's stop the bleeding.
And
then,
I could get involved in that conversation.
Yeah.
But that has nothing to do with politics. That's just like the right thing to do in common sense and stuff.
if this wasn't politics, that would still be the solution, is not to put a Band-Aid on it.
Right.
So, what are you going to do with Bubba who takes out $10,000 in January?
We're going to be right back where we started. Even if we forgave every student loan across America, would we be back right to where we started today?
Yeah.
4 years from now.
Because they're still making them. So, I mean, when you're 18, you can't buy beer, but you can go $100,000 in debt. There's just something stupid about that, y'all.
But it's our American right, Dave.
I mean, I don't even know how to respond to that. That's so stupid.
I just wanted to throw that out there for you. It's our American right to be stupid.
That's right. Well, you do have the right to be stupid. That is the beauty of freedom, is that you got the right to be dumb.
To the tune of $300 billion.
My pastor used to say, the beauty of America is you have the right to be wrong. And so, but I agree with that. It's just an interesting discussion. It's interesting when you view it through the political lens, which we're not politics people, but this one's kind of sus. Whoa, I picked up on it quick. Thank you.
Gen Z, you just
Gen
got a lot
Z
of new listeners.
YouTube listeners just are all running around in circles, cheering and throwing up confetti right now.
I'm just happy I taught Dave something new. It's
I like how he kind of predicted my initial reaction too.
hard to teach an old dog new tricks.
Be careful.
Sorry.
You just called me a dog.
A young dog, new tricks.
Wait,
Anyway.
you still call me a dog.
Dang it, I can't win with you people.
Oh my
How
goodness. Let's see. I'm only on a vid with 10 facts. About 12 minutes. Okay, I'll watch that. Did you throw it in the chat? DGL said, what do you believe when everyone is watching? What do I believe when everyone is watching? The same thing I believe when nobody else is watching. Why would it change? Yo, if what I believe changes based on if anyone's watching, then I don't really believe it, do I? That's just how it goes. I don't understand the thrust of what you're asking here. What do you believe when everyone is watching? I don't know. What am I going to be, a Christian at home and a Buddhist at work? What do you ask? He said, look that up in Genius. Okay. Are those lyrics to something? Let's see here. What do you believe when everyone is watching? What is this? Is this like Blood Money or Lil Cartier? Because we've got two songs here. I don't know. I don't know which of these things you're referring to. Blood Money? Oh, I see. It's a Poppy song. Okay. Yeah, I know you guys. Some of you guys are Poppy fans. Poppy stuff is kind of weird. Let's see. All right, we've got this video. It's 10 incredible facts about the Netherlands Army. Fun fact, one of my favorite EDM artists of all time, Martin Garrix, is from the Netherlands. He's Dutch.
The Netherlands is home to the Dutch, and it might seem like a country that is lacking in military due to the fact that it has a very peaceful attitude in the big world that we know of today. However, that is so far from the truth because the Dutch forces not only know that defense is a serious thing, but are also lethally trained to be one of the best fighting forces out there.
But I am going to push back on that a little bit. If you have trained like military men, but then you don't deploy any of them, or you don't like send them out to do any missions, I mean, it doesn't really negate the point that like they don't really like they're not like a threatening force.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to FTD Facts. My name is Dave Wobble, and welcome to the channel where I look at people, cultures, places, and militaries from all around the world. Now, I'm really excited because today we're going to look at the Dutch army, the army from the Netherlands. And the reason we're kind of doing this is simply because we've done a lot of videos on the Netherlands. We've talked about its special forces. We've talked about its air force and including its navy, and the navy was really big. So we're just continuing our series on the military of this country. Also for this video, some people might be expecting, oh, modern day facts. Well, we are going to get into that, but let's be real, I'm also going to go into some historical facts as well, because, well, you can't understand what a military is like unless you understand its history. So the Army of the Netherlands, officially known as the Royal Netherlands Army or Landmacht. Basically, this particular unit in the entire armed forces of the Netherlands is the land component, the guys on the ground. So we talking tanks, we talking soldiers, all that sort of stuff, and artillery. Now, it's actually been around for a while, with its official date of introduction being January 9th of 1814. However, that's really only the modern stylistic sort of army, because it's actually been around for a lot longer. As a matter of fact, it's been around since at least 1572. Back then, these ground forces were simply known as the Dutch States Army, or
I don't know, what is that? Is that a pole or a spear? What's that supposed to be? What's it supposed to do? I feel like that sword is probably a little bit better.
Staats-Leger, and they operated under a government known as the States General of the Netherlands, which was also the Republic of the Seven United Netherlands, which was pretty much a bunch of different states that banded together to fight off the Spanish because they wanted independence. And although the country did have some form of military before it, the actual state army...
Stick and slice, ooh. It's kind of brutal, but also kind of dope.
Army of the Seven United Netherlands Republic was introduced officially on September 25th, 1575, which makes the Dutch land forces one of the oldest armies and land forces in the entire world that is still going today. Now, like I said, one of the reasons this army was created in the first place was because this particular group of states wanted its own independence from Spain. So they created an army, and thus to fight Spain as well, they also had to fight the French. And pretty much this army saw a lot of combat in what is known as the 80 Years' War, which lasted from 1568 to about 1588 for the Dutch campaigns. And of course, you might have heard in the past that there was a thing called the Army of Flanders. Well, that isn't the Army of the Netherlands, that was the Spanish army. And for the Netherlands State Army, one of the earliest, if not the...
Ooh, that's kind of creepy, I have to say.
First commander-in-chief of this army was Philip van La Lang. Now, during this time, this army, of course, didn't have anything like tanks or anything like that, of course, because they weren't invented during that time. But during that time, they had either cavalry units or light foot soldiers. But one really interesting thing is they say about half of the army was actually Dutch, where the rest of it was Frenchmen, Scotsmen, Irishmen, people from all over, you know, Europe and the UK. And for the size of this army, at around 1588, the army consisted of approximately 20,000 troops. So one thing is, you really gotta give this particular fighting force, the State Army of the Netherlands back in the day, some serious credit, because these guys were, although they were classified as a mercenary, kind of a thrown together army, they could keep up with the major armies that were around the world.
I wonder if they would be able to keep up with modern militaries today. So let's do, like, imagine the Netherlands versus like Ukraine. I wonder if Ukraine would beat them. Israel would beat them. I don't know. It's interesting.
Could fight Spain. I mean, they fought the French as well. And surprisingly enough, for mercenaries, historians agree that they were extremely, if not one of the most well-organized militaries during the 17th and 18th century. However, unfortunately, due to the fighting with Spain, France eventually pretty much conquered the Netherlands, and the Netherlands became kind of a, I guess you would say, a puppet country of France. And because of that, many Dutch forces in this new army were actually major contributors to the Napoleonic Wars. Of course, this state army no longer continued to exist, and a new army was under the Batavian Republic control. This was in approximately 1795, which of course led to the Dutch land units joining the French to fight with Napoleon.
Vinny says, we beat Ukraine, I think. You may be biased.
Of course, the army changed once again in 1806 when the Kingdom of Holland was formed. Also, I did mention it before, but during the Kingdom of Holland, this was a major time when the Netherlands and Dutch people were pretty much influenced and forced to do things by the French. Because by 1810, the independent Dutch army was assimilated into the French army, known as the Grand Armée, and this was simply because of Napoleon's decision. However, it should also be mentioned that because of this, the French unit known as the 126th Infantry Regiment, which is pretty much still in use today, this particular unit has major Dutch influences. However, by 1814, the Netherlands became its own thing, thus a new army was created. And that's simply the one that we're talking about now. However, this army did have a different name, and it was once originally called the Netherlands Mobile Army. But this army did see combat in the 100 Days War, as well as the Belgian Revolution of 1830 and 1832, and the Waterloo campaigns, which were a part of the 100 Days War in 1815.
I don't know. I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm not particularly interested in this. It's like a lot of like war and history and stuff, and it's not like, I don't know. He's portraying history like it's history, and that makes it boring. And so I don't know. It's hard for me to stay focused on that, unfortunately. But I mean, it's nice that you like your military. I mean, that's pretty cool. I think that like that's a luxury that like Americans don't really indulge in. Let's see. No, I think we're gonna move forward. Like, I mean, there was already like a lot that like was happening, but it's just like, I don't know. I think maybe part of it was that it was really macro and nothing about it felt personal at all. But just the way that history is portrayed, I don't blame it on the stuff not being interesting. I think that like people who find history stuff interesting are probably just pretty good at just like cutting through all like the BS and the poor packaging of these stories. But for me, it's just like, it's not worth the mental brain power for me to try and do that when I can actually watch something interesting or engage in something a little bit more interesting. I don't know. Anyways, it looks like Quaxic is homeless. Quaxic is like kind of a relatively small streamer that I found on Twitch a couple weeks ago. No. Like 5-6 weeks ago. And I haven't really watched her very much, but I guess she's homeless now. We'll see.
I'm homeless.
She's homeless.
How did that happen? My Curing House contract was ending at the end of the August. I didn't want to renew it because first, it cost a lot, and second, I hate my flop meats. And I wasn't able to find a new home after looking for one for 3 full months. Earlier this year, I did much better financially, but after the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, I got my Etsy banned, my Upwork banned, and my PayPal banned. A lot of other companies no longer work with Russian citizenships.
Oh, she's Russian.
It has effectively reduced my income by more than 50%. That's why I have to minimize the housing cost and look for a new one. Oh.
Netflix, and by the way, if you guys haven't seen her streams, that is her streaming room. Like, I don't really care as much about whether I should be able to stream, but it's just like crazy that like she is just like instantly, because of all the stuff that's happening in Ukraine, lost the ability to work as much, and then just like boom, lost 50% of her income. That's wild.
Since early May, I have been monitoring websites for a house or an apartment, and even a couple of times I got viewing. I saw them, but there was a couple of problems all the time. The first one, that I have a Russian passport. The second one is that I need an official contract. Another pleasant surprise, and the thing that for you as an immigrant, doesn't matter where you're from, the landlord can ask for a 12-month deposit. It's, for example, if if I will have 800 euro for a house, I will have to pay like 1,000. And if somebody can afford that, that's totally fine. But I can't.
And it's one thing that I think Vinny was sort of getting to in the chat earlier on when he was saying, like, go ahead, do the war already. Like, these sanctions are like just dragging it out. And I think one thing too is that these people don't really consider sanctions will cause things like that. Like, and I was saying, you know, that this economic depression that we're hitting, this recession that we're in, is you know, gonna make everyone be losing their money. Not 100% true, but it does lead to things like this, where the effects of, like, you know, sanctions do have negative impacts on regular people who just can't take it. And there's nothing that we can do because we're just like regular Joes. We're just normal people.
I'm looking for something what in my budget range. Oh, thanks for everyone and for all my friends who support me this time. Your support is even more appreciated this time. Thank you very much. And actually, some people asked if they can lend me money, but I declined because I'm not sure if I will be able to pay back on time. I never borrowed money from anyone, and I don't think that I will ever do. Sally, Mike Kozowski, if you're the type of person who gives money to musicians, buy food for homeless, or donate to the Flat Earth Society, I have my Patreon where you can support me. By the way, thanks for...
That's nice. So it's not like she's like, oh, I ain't taking no money. I ain't want no handouts. Don't give me no money. It's not like that's what she's on. It's more of a thing that, like, she doesn't want to, like, accept money for nothing, because then she feels like she'll have to owe it to that person to give it back, and she's not going to be able to do that.
For all of my patrons, I love you.
So where's she gonna live?
What's next? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And to be completely fair with you, the fact that I'm homeless isn't the biggest challenge in my life that I have to deal with.
Bro, what are you dealing with then, bro? Like, if that's what you going through? What are you going through? You need some help.
I'm going to live in my van, but not alone, with my cat Mia. She's pretty. That would be really depressive if I would stay in one spot and just live in the van. No, that's so sad. I'm going to travel around Portugal, so I'm going to share my plans with you. I'm going to visit the center of Portugal, then drive south to Lisbon. From there, I will continue on the southmost part of the country, and then visit a few more places on my way back to the north.
It's really cool that she has a van. You know, like Tim Pool and the Timcast folks, they also have a van.
So I'm going to make videos along the way, but I will be able to edit them only when I will solve my housing problem. Make sure to subscribe my channel so you won't miss this.
Interesting. So I guess that means it's goodbye for now, because she's not going to be able to edit any videos for a bit.
Music.
Or did she solve her housing problem now, and that's why this video is being able to be edited? So does she have a drone? How was she able to get that shot at the end? Let me see here. I guess that was posted today. Yeah, no, she doesn't have anything else. So it's, I don't know. It's kind of interesting. But now we've got the I'm not gonna watch that video. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. Well, I guess now we've seen Russia, you know, get a citizen evicted. Russia made a Russian streamer homeless because they wanted more land for people to populate their dying country. It's pretty sad. All right, here we go. Let's watch Mr. Shady Jones here react to a YouTube video.
Oh, God! Oh, you did not just do I didn't know what it was.
What was that? What?
Oh, God! Oh, you did not just do I didn't know what it was.
What was that?
Holy fuck. Holy shit. Oh, man. He fucking crushed a wasp nest.
That's what that was?
Oh. I have nightmares about that shit, dude. I have fucking nightmares about it's that like a wasp nest exploding and then bees coming out, and then the other one is when I'm driving my car and the brake kind of works but not all the way.
No,
and then I just
how was I even supposed to know that that's a wasp nest though? Because I don't know what that. How did he know what a wasp nest looks like? Unless it was in the description.
Start rolling into the person in front of me. Oh, fuck, I hate that.
Why would you watch it again?
I actually hate that.
Why would you watch it again?
Oh, God. Oh, fuck. Holy shit, I hate that. Oh.
That's wild.
Why? What goes... That dude let his intrusive thoughts get to him, man.
Yeah, that's true. Because, like, you don't even know what that is. Like I mean, it looks like... I don't know what it felt like or whatever, but it just seemed to me like some regular old stone or something. I wasn't expecting it something that would just, like, crack. And then, like, stuff would start flying out and going everywhere. But also, at the end of the day, I don't like go around in nature finding random things and then like squishing them in my hands. Like it's just like not how I roll personally. I don't understand that mentality.
He let him win. I don't think a single person that has a single sane person in their right mind would squeeze a hornet nest until it breaks.
Did he know it was a hornet nest? I didn't know it was a hornet nest. You can't like assume everyone in the whole world knows what a hornet's nest looks like.
I'll watch one more time just for you guys, just because you guys are asking about it.
Oh.
Jesus Christ, man.
Well, that was something.
Guys,
I think this is the last video I'm going to react to tonight because it is getting a little bit late. And I know some of you guys who are watching have been asking me to make a video about the pink sauce stuff. And I don't know. I never was interested in it like at the beginning. But now the one thing is, what is pink sauce? That's one thing. And I asked the chat. They didn't really give me an answer. But this video promises to let me know. So let's see.
Guys, we have discovered the secret recipe for TikTok's famous pink sauce. It's perfect.
Oh, Matthew, I'm not feeling really well. Have you seen the Pepto?
Minty.
Is that true? Is that like what pink sauce actually is? Pepto-Bismol? Oh my goodness, it's been so long since I've seen a YouTube video, but like multi-million subscriber, trending YouTube, because like trending YouTube is like a genre of YouTube videos at this point. It's been a long time since I've watched that genre. that like sitting through this like 15-second intro that has like all these things coming at me just feels kind of strange when I watch just a lot of scuffed stream clips, honestly, on YouTube, and then clips from like political commentators is like mostly what I watch. I don't know. It just feels like an entirely
Internet.
different
Welcome to
internet
Food
or world
Theory, the show that
website to me.
stays fresh without refrigeration. Today we're looking at the latest viral food phenomenon, TikTok's infamous pink sauce. This neon nosh has been sweeping the internet all summer, leaving the tickers, tweeters, grammars, and tubers all clamoring for a squeeze of the stuff, and then clamoring for the nearest toilet as the sauce arrives unprotected, spoiled, or exploded.
All of this false propaganda that's going on the internet, I'm just a victim of clout.
Victim of clout, huh? Well, I'd rather be a victim of clout than a victim of botulism.
If you chase the clout, you're not a victim of it.
Victim of clout, huh? Well, I'd rather be a victim of clout than a victim of botulism. For those of you who are unaware of what I'm talking about because you refuse to download TikTok in fear of our international corporate overlords, I mean, in fear of how much you're gonna love your time on the platform, the pink sauce is a condiment that was invented by the self-proclaimed flavor genie, Chef P, a private chef who somehow doesn't know what the letters FDA stand for.
What do you mean FDA approved? I don't sell medical products.
Who could have expected?
Yo. What? I think Jewel needs to go tell the FDA that they don't sell medical products.
That the Food and Drug Administration would show interest in a potentially unsafe food. No one tell her. I'm sure she'll figure it out eventually. The food that she's trying so unsuccessfully to defend here is this unholy concoction. Pink sauce. Basically, if you took Pepto-Bismol and put it into a squeeze bottle.
No, bro, that looks like paint.
Video of her slathering some fried chicken with the stuff blew up overnight thanks to its unnatural color. Suddenly, everybody wanted to know what this thing was. And you know what? They're still wondering, despite hundreds of bottles of it being shipped out because the packaging is absolutely riddled with errors. So while everyone in digital commentary land is out here telling you all the reasons that consuming the product is dangerous, which, let me be clear, it absolutely is, you should not buy this stuff and definitely don't consume it, I'm here today to instead figure out the question that everyone seemed to skip in the process. What even is the pink sauce? And can you make it at home safely, thereby allowing you to avoid paying $20 for this sampler of salmonella?
We're just gonna use our noggin and everything we know about food science, which isn't a lot, to make pink sauce the safe at-home way. Yeah. All the virality of the pink sauce minus one key ingredient, the actual viruses.
In the past, we've managed to figure out KFC's secret recipe, so, I mean, how hard could this possibly be? Well, off the bat, there's one key thing that separates the pink sauce from the KFC secret recipe, and that's the fact that, you know, KFC actually has a recipe. It's consistent. It's repeatable. Meanwhile, here's the first video of the pink sauce, and here's another, and another, one more, and this is how it looks today. The color is different in literally every video posted about this.
That can be blamed on color correction. I'm pretty sure that it actually was the same color the whole time.
For a sauce that is purely branded around its color, the color isn't even consistent.
It's a white balance thing, you know? You've probably actually seen this in my streams. The color balance is kind of off when I have my LED lights on in the background because sometimes the way that the colors are, it kind of throws off the balance that the TV is trying to get. And so it just like causes there to be a little bit of a tint there. So I don't think this is 100% accurate. We saw this with like the whole like gold dress versus blue dress situation too, where, you know, white balance in your images from a phone really does matter.
Heck, I wouldn't even call it pink anymore. Sometimes there are seeds in it, sometimes there's not. Sometimes you can see chili flakes, sometimes not. This stuff is never the same sauce twice. But I hear what you're saying. People already have the sauce. They have the label. That label has ingredients on it and nutrition information, right? Well,
I can't tell you the ingredients that I use to make it pink, but it's pink.
No, you do kind of have to tell people the ingredients. Again, that is probably why the FDA wants to have a conversation with you.
Pink sauce has only been an official product since the 1st of July, we began production. You guys are judging a prototype.
Nothing like beta testing your sketchy food product on the people who paid $20 a bottle for it. Okay, now to be fair, the bottle
usually those trials are, I think they're actually free, or the manufacturers who make those products will actually pay.
Shipping out to people do actually have themselves a label and a sticker on the back of the bottle that says nutrition information. Then again, I can literally slap a sticker that says that onto anything and it doesn't necessarily make it true. And in the case of pink sauce, if you think that nutrition label
I'm not gonna make a joke about anyone eating anyone, but
is going to give us an accurate picture of what's inside the bottle, well, your stomach is going to be paying for that mistake. I won't go into this too much because this is territory that's already been covered by plenty of other channels, but the label on the back of this thing is so far from correct, it's almost useless. For instance, the label says that there are 444 portions of the sauce inside of the bottle. 444! I mean, do I even need to go further than that? Have you ever seen a food product with that many servings? The highest that I've ever seen is whipped cream, and that's only in the 70s. For almost any other condiment, a bottle of this size would usually contain between 30 and 40 servings based on a serving size of 1 tablespoon. And you can probably imagine that if they weren't able to get a basic number like that right, then things are really gonna fall apart once they start doing actual math. Like here, where the total number of carbs doesn't equal the sum of the sugar and the fiber. It should be 15, but it's instead listed as 3. Or what about here, where there's only 1 gram of fat listed, but supposedly there's more sunflower oil than honey inside this thing based on the order of its ingredients list, and sunflower oil is pure fat. So there's a gram of sunflower oil and less than a gram of all other ingredients here per serving. I mean, I guess if each of the 400 servings is like the size of a raindrop, then sure, checks out. There are also very few ingredients here that can provide shelf stability to the product, which is a big concern when you have a sizable amount of garlic and pitaya, both products that are perishable. It's also notable that this sauce in every video and every different shade of pink always appears as a creamy sauce. It's opaque and it has a similar consistency to honey mustard, ranch, or mayonnaise. And yet the ingredients list on the package contains nothing that would create a sauce that looks like this. There's no mention of dairy.
But the thing is, I don't know.
Or egg products to be found that could serve as a binding agent that would give it this creamy consistency. Also, there's an ingredient here named vinegar.
We actually had to get this imported from some backwoods shed.
Really a specialty ingredient.
See what I mean? It just completely breaks down. At the end of the day, this isn't an ingredients list, it's a word scramble. So in our attempt to uncover the real pink sauce, we're first gonna make our best attempt based on reverse engineering the nutrition label here. And be aware, I use the heaviest of quotes when I say that. If we don't come out with something that looks like or tastes like the pink sauce, we're gonna modify the recipe as little as possible to achieve something that looks and tastes closer to how online reviewers have described it.
Can you compare it to anything?
Sweet ranch. It's like sweet mayo.
Also, just as a side note, no one even likes this stuff. On her TikTok page, Chef P keeps uploading videos where she forces the sauce onto people, and then everyone's just too polite to say anything negative about it.
Her sauce is delicious. Yeah, you guys need to try it.
Says the woman who practically refuses to try it herself. Blink twice if you're being held here against your will. She says, even before she tastes it. And then she refuses to look at the camera. Yep, you saw the caption. Reviews are coming in, and they are bad.
But this stuff is delicious, and I don't know what it tastes like.
You don't know what it tastes like, huh? Well, that, my very uncomfortably scripted friend, is what we aim to find out today. So let's try making the sauce using the listed ingredients and nutritional facts to figure out the quantities.
We're going to be attempting to make the sauce as it's sort of written out in the ingredients and the nutrition information.
I feel like if you're following the instructions that are on there, you're not gonna actually find, like, it's not gonna be pink. Because didn't she say, I can't tell you what makes it pink? So I'm pretty sure they left that out of it.
On the back of the actual pink sauce bottle, we'll explain in the video why we couldn't exactly suss out a recipe, but we did the best we could.
Sus!
This recipe is pretty sus.
Now we're legally obligated to also make a venting reference. So I'm gonna go over here and vent now.
Vent.
Vent! Here I am. This is me venting. Vent!
Oh, I see it. Oh, there's a vent on the floor.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of venting, Gregory?
Back to the food channel.
In order to make a decent-sized quantity that we could test on a number of foods, we blended up 10 servings. So
man, trending YouTube is weird. This is weird content. I can tell why I stopped watching this, like, after only like 2 or 3 or 4 years of being a teenager.
In order to make a decent sized quantity that we could test on a number of foods, we blended up 10 servings, so each part of the nutritional facts is going to be multiplied by 10 as well. Starting with the sugar, there are 11 grams of sugar per serving, and only 2 listed ingredients that have sugar content: honey and dragon fruit.
Knife! Oh, whoa, this is really serious.
It is a very serious knife, brought to you by our friend
Andrew. Thanks, Andrew.
There you go. Speaking of quality merchandise, wow, thanks for commenting on my amazing shirt stuff.
Oh my gosh, your shirt is amazing.
Wow, which is available right below this video. Quality game theory merch.
This one's white.
Nice.
Ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not.
This one's gonna be red.
Look, it's like a loot box. Which one are we gonna get today? Here we go.
Come on, red, come on. Yes! Woo!
So dragon
we used
fruit comes in different
122
colors,
grams of honey, giving us 100 grams of sugar, and 130 grams of dragon fruit, giving us an additional 10 grams of sugar, thereby amounting to 110 grams total.
Just call us Chef P. Chef P as in Patrick.
Chef P as in precision.
Chef P as in pretty cool.
I think we should keep moving on with the recipe now.
Next up, we needed 40 grams of fiber. We already have 4 from the honey and dragon fruit, so we still need 36. The only other ingredient on the list that contains any fiber is the garlic, which has 0.2 grams per garlic, so we just need to add 180 cloves? Oh, jeez. This is already starting.
Yo, this all has to be fake. There's no way that this Gabby Hanna or person or whoever like gobbled together 180 onions in order to like make one bottle of this stuff.
Starting to break down. I'm not putting that much garlic in here, so we'll just do the rest of the recipe and see how it goes. The rest of the ingredients are distilled vinegar, water, Himalayan salt, and sunflower seed oil before we get to the less than 2% ingredients. If we go by the 1 gram of fat per serving, then that means there's only 1 gram of sunflower oil in there. That's pure fat, so that's 10 grams of oil. Though watching the video of Chef P making the sauce, we seem to disagree on the amount of oil there, P, but I'm gonna continue going by the numbers that you have listed on your official nutrition label. Anyway, we did the same for vinegar and water and about
also, I must say, like,
to disagree on
just pouring out all that oil is gross. Like, ugh.
The amount of oil there, P, but I'm gonna continue going by the numbers that you have listed on your official nutrition label. Anyway, we did the same for vinegar and water and about 3 grams of Himalayan salt based on the sodium listed in the nutrition facts. Finally, the less than 2% of ingredients, we added 6 grams of spices, which were chili flakes and onion powder, 5 grams of citric acid, a small splash of milk, and lemon juice. After all of that, we were still missing a massive amount of fiber, but for the sake of our taste buds and Raleigh, North Carolina's garlic supply, I just added 2 cloves and called it a day. Then we blended it all up and hoped for the best. It's worth pointing out that again, the ingredients are supposed to be listed by the amount used proportionally on the recipe. Our order came out very differently, but in truth, it's just not possible to satisfy these nutritional requirements with the ingredients as they're currently written out.
We're getting ready to blend. We'll get a second.
It's the fact that like the ingredients don't match how much of the items, how much of like the fact that like the ingredients don't match the nutrition facts is like hilarious to me. It almost is. I don't know. I think it's just so crazy. It does. I don't know.
Sense of what color this actually is.
Also, before I try this stuff, you have got to subscribe. I am putting my life on the line for you. Look at this. This is disgusting, but I'm testing it for science and for your enjoyment. So if that's not worth a hit of that subscribe button, I don't know what is. Subscribing is free. A stark contrast from the amount of medical attention I'm gonna need after this episode. At first glance, one thing was certain. This was not the sauce that Chef P is using. The color is purple, not the
It looks like a raspberry smoothie.
Kirby pink that we were hoping
It looks literally like a raspberry smoothie.
for. Dragon fruit, while it provides color, is a watery fruit and left us with a runny broth, not a finger-licking sauce. So, not a great start visually, but remember, flavor-wise, we're looking for something that's close to a sweet ranch. And
wow, that is a trip for your taste buds.
Oh man.
It is sweet on the front end. It is garlicky throughout.
I'm not a squeamish or picky person. I do not enjoy that flavor.
it sort of had that going for it if you squint really hard, but it lacked any kind of creaminess because, again, it has no binding agent or ingredient that creates a sticky, creamy texture. I gotta admit, so far, Chef P is failing her mission to, as the bottle says, excite my taste buds and thrill me with their creativity.
Oh, it excited your taste buds. You just didn't like it.
The only thing creative about all this is their creative interpretation of the meaning of numbers. So, in order to try and get a creamier texture with a color that better resembled pink sauce, I went rogue and took 2 different approaches. First, I added some mayonnaise to the mixture that we already made. Why mayo? Well, you see this right here, sitting next to Chef P in this video? I mean, what is that ingredient? It's white and it's viscous, which honestly doesn't apply to any other ingredient in the sauce. It's not mashed garlic, because you can see the garlic cloves floating there in the literal vat of oil that she created in the blender. In fact, I suspect that mayo may be acting as more than just an ingredient. You notice the yellow capped squeeze bottles that the pink sauce comes packaged in? Why wouldn't your pink sauce have, I don't know, a pink lid? Yellow is nowhere to be found in her brand, unless your main ingredient is mayonnaise and you happen to have a ton of these yellow capped bottles just sitting around. Repurpose the mayo bottles, wipe off the label, boom! You've got yourself a brand new product. Anyway, I figured the mayo would help build a nice stable creaminess where it's lacking right now. It tasted...
I definitely taste the vinegar. I definitely taste the garlic. And I get a little bit of the honey.
Hold up, slow down. Who wants a sauce that tastes like garlic and vinegar? Just saying.
But not really very much.
For the other approach, I got serious. I knew that we were looking for a sweet ranch flavor, so why not just cut to the chase? I mixed our buddy Hidden Valley Ranch, #NotSpawn, and the dragon fruit together.
So our sauces are all mixed up.
Yep.
Now it's just time for the taste test.
So on this side we have our ranch, which has all of the great seasonings and spices, garlic, vinegar. It's got everything already in there.
Yep.
So all we did was add fruit. And basically we've got some nice fruity ranch.
So really this is ranch plus dragon fruit.
Yes, ranch plus dragon fruit, that's it.
Great.
On this
Easy.
side, we have sort of the opposite. So we have the plain mayonnaise, nothing in it, but we added our whole mixture to it. So in this one, our fruit mixture has the vinegar and the honey and the salt and the garlic and all of that. So we came to a similar color and consistency on both sides.
I was gonna say, from a coloring standpoint, this is pretty much the quintessential pink sauce.
And from a texture standpoint, it seems to be about what we see on TikTok.
Yeah, from the ranch. I mean, it's ranch. It's great.
Oh yeah, that just tastes like ranch.
It's just ranch.
You can't taste any of the fruit. You see the pink, but you don't taste anything remotely pink. It tastes like ranch, which is lovely. Who wouldn't like ranch?
Honestly, everyone's making a big deal about like, no, why does it cost $20 for one of these bottles? It's because she's buying this plus like a $5 fruit. A dragon fruit's expensive.
They are. They're really expensive.
Each one's $5. You gotta charge a lot for that.
Yeah. Okay, ready? We're gonna go for the mayo plus mixture.
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
It's pretty good.
I'm so ashamed of myself right now.
It's a sweet mayo. It's mayo with a kick.
You definitely still don't taste the dragon fruit.
No.
In either one.
Absolutely not.
So the main ingredient in both of these is the mayo and the ranch.
Yeah.
The other stuff is just seasonings, and then the color. Yeah, I mean, the only thing that this dragon fruit is even doing is just color. That's nothing else. So what I think.
Part of me was wondering if whoever made this literally just took, like, went online and was like, oh, we can make like foods pink, and dragon fruit showed up, and she was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna buy some dragon fruit.
I think we need to do is actually combine these two guys to get the final pink sauce.
And then we'll dunk some chicken.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That is the silverware drawer.
Do you know where things are?
I do.
It's your kitchen,
I
man.
do, but I'm on camera and I choked under pressure.
My God. Oh, that's it. That's it. It's sweet ranch.
So this is it. Homemade pink sauce. Plus, you can refrigerate it at home.
Hey!
Which is a big win. That way you can get a viral video without the virus. Only one thing left to do. The chicken test. Slather it in there like she does in the
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I want some chicken now.
Acceptable.
So what is the pink sauce? Well, we can say for certain that it's not what's listed on the label. Very clearly, there's a major thickening or binding agent that's in the sauce that's just outright missing from the labeling. From here, we have to enter into the realm of speculation, but having spent the last week testing the sauce and zooming and enhancing every video of it I can find, I believe the actual recipe for the sauce is a combination of both of our tests. If it tastes like sweet ranch, Occam's razor, folks, it may just be full of ranch. The heat that people talk about is from the chili powder, like Chef P says herself on TikTok. Then there's a bit of sweetness from the honey that she shows in her oh-so-helpful infographic. That leaves us with only one thing left, the color. Now, on her TikTok, she shows red dragon fruit being used. This video, by the way, looks and sounds like a murder basement. Now, to be fair, red dragon fruit does...
It also sounds like a a thrift store, the front end of a thrift store that I like going to.
Produce a deep red color, so maybe she really is using the fruit as it's listed in the ingredients. That said, it's pretty far down the ingredients list, and what we found was that we had to add a heck of a lot of the stuff in order to achieve the color that we were going for. Dragon fruit is also an expensive ingredient, and it's adding a lot of...
Yeah, it's so random and weird that I feel like she probably had to Google, like, hey, what makes food pink, in order to, like, find dragon fruit as an item to even put on the ingredients list.
Work just to achieve the color. That said, if we use dragon fruit powder, which you can buy on Amazon, we actually had to use much less. It made things much more cost effective, and we didn't have to change the flavor of the sauce at all. So pink sauce, it's basically just ranch, honey, dragon fruit powder, and a little chili. Maybe some mayo thrown in there for extra creaminess, and the bottle. So why lie about your ingredients? Well, the recipe for pink sauce isn't rocket science, and neither is the question. When you experience even a glimmer of fame on the internet, you know that you have a very short window of time to make something out of it. Looking at Chef P's TikTok pre-sauce, you can see that she was already posting regularly, creating formats for herself, building a personal brand. She wasn't a person who accidentally became famous on the internet. She very intentionally became famous on the internet and then tried to capitalize on it. Was she ready to launch a sauce brand? No, clearly not. Again, we're way out of theory land and pretty far into speculation land at this point, but my guess is that she saw a 1 in a million opportunity and was so afraid of losing it that she rushed in and cut corners, both in the labeling and in the quality of the product that she was producing. She was afraid of losing her niche, so she refused to share her ingredients just in case someone came in and scooped her sauce along the way. At the end of the day, don't buy the pink sauce. Duh, but also don't really buy stuff in general from people you might not be able to trust on the internet. Feel like I shouldn't have to say this, but here we are, friends. If you'd like to try the pink sauce, then make your own. It's not hard. We gave you basically the recipe here. And remember, the next time you see Pepto-Bismol in a bottle being peddled online, maybe you just give that one a strong pass. But hey, that's just a theory.
That was interesting. That was kind of crazy, but I feel like, is she gonna get into legal like jeopardy for this? I feel like she should, because she's clearly lying about like what's in her sauce. And also, it sounds like people are kind of getting sick from it too, so she probably has some sort of liability from that standpoint as well. But anyways, thanks everyone for tuning in. This has been kind of fun. I'm kind of tired right now, but it was really fun engaging with you all in the chat. Chat was popping today. I'm also now realizing that I may or may not have forgotten to update the tags on this stream, so I'll have to do that at the end when I'm finished. But it was good again. Yeah, I have classes coming up, so I'm not gonna be able to stream as much. Really wanted to get in a nice fat stream to, I don't know, have a bunch of reactions that I can smatter in with my normal uploads. I really appreciate everyone who's been in my Discord creating clips for me, because I have like so many clips that I can throw up, and I want to, have more recent content up there to post. So that's like one reason why I did this spur of the moment stream that I didn't really plan very much. But still, I appreciate everyone who's like all my editors, Mr. Pizza, DJ LL, and my main editors. I appreciate you guys. You guys are great at what you do, and you guys can be pretty much exactly what I need for my YouTube channel, if I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, this is fun. I'm looking forward to my next streams. Looking forward to getting a more regular schedule down. I'm looking forward to releasing more clips, especially clips with the Liberator, because we made a lot of content. We actually made enough for 3 videos. I'm dropping 1 video of the streaming advice with him once a week, every Monday. Next week is going to be week 2, and then after that's going to be week 3. And of course, if you guys saw my stream, which is called This Stream Is For You, all the conversations that we had in there are going to make their way to the clip channel eventually. I'm just going to need some time to chop some of them down. I think Baron Barrett's convo shouldn't be too hard to edit and get posted up there, but we'll see. DJ LL's got a new clip I got to throw up there and schedule. There's a lot going on in the Bread Gang universe. But in case you guys are new to the Bread Gang, go check out my Discord, man. I got the link in the description. Go check it out. Anyways, I'll leave you with the sweet soothing sounds of David S. music. His piano cover of 24 by Kanye West playing in the background, lulling you to sleep because it's 2:37 in the morning.